Want to begin by asking you, Trump promised to unify the country, but does he even need to do that if he's to be reelected?
Are you asking whether he needs to unify the country or needs to talk about it? But either way, it's going to be a very difficult maneuver, because the number one point I take away from the convention this week and the convention last week is that there was not much crossover. Someone who watched the RNC did not watch the DNC. So where will there be middle ground when people are not listening to each other? One side is entrenched, the other side is entrenched. And like the previous week of charges and accusations, it was another week of charges and accusations. So the dissension exists, and at the presidential level, it really is going to be hard to make any movement there. Coming together is more of a person-to-person, community-to-community action. We Americans are not expecting it to come from the top.
Now, let's speak about what happened on Sunday. A black man, Jacob Blake, was shot 7 times in his back by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That sparked major unrest, both peaceful protests and some riots. No one would say they support violence, but Trump is such an unbending ally of the police. He mentioned the unrest. Why did he not even say Jacob Blake's name?
I can't explain why the president says what he says and why he doesn't say, but let me point to the fact that the convention this week, the Republicans presented lots of people who have talked about being afraid in their homes. And so it's more of a Republican talking point to put people forward who talk about having survived a violent incident, instead of focusing on the names of people we have seen on video attacked by the police. Like, for example, the couple in St. Louis that brought out the guns, those people, that couple was invited to speak. Last night, there was a widow of a retired police officer who talked about losing her husband. And so it was more of a focus on the Republican side to let people speak about their fear instead of to focus on the lives of people who have either been seriously injured or killed as a result of police violence.
Now, another subject in his 70-minute speech was the pandemic, Trump repeatedly misrepresenting his own record on the coronavirus. How large a role do you think the coronavirus will play come November?
As I look at what's happening in the United States, it doesn't matter what facts are. Some people are waiting to hear their beliefs reinforced. And so the president talked about having a vaccine ready by the end of the year. That would be glorious news. Whether it's true or not, we won't know. But that the president and his team decided to put that forward, it seems to be the idea that would sway people in the minds of the Republican team. But will there be a vaccine? It really doesn't matter at this point. Just putting information out there solidifies what people think, because that's what people want to hear. It takes a terror to function politically, but that's what we've been facing for, 20 years, 25 years.
One last question, and we don't have much time, I'm sorry, but you're one of the few commentators who thought Donald Trump could win the 2016 election, even stating that here on France 24. Any predictions for this November?
My prediction is to put all of the polls in the garbage can. Do not waste anybody's news time putting results of a poll. Talk to voters. Talk to people who are affected by what is going to happen politically. And in that way, we can all have a better idea of how this will go. I'm still formulating my view about who might win.
Thank you very much, Nita Wiggins, author of Civil Rights Baby. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe intends to leave office because of declining